I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
Well, we're back. What we're going to talk about now is the fact that Elon Musk is starting to worry certain people like myself. I really hate when people come up with timetables that don't make sense. And I think that that's something we should all wonder about. I'll give you an example.
In case something bad happens here, going to Mars. That's one of the benefits of Mars, is life insurance for life collectively. So eventually, all life on Earth will be destroyed by the sun.
Now, everything he's saying right now it's not true, but it's also just theoretical. In his opinion, of his limited knowledge of where we are, what we are, the timetable of the galaxy, the universe, all this stuff is just man-made nonsense. A lot of it is fake. None of it's actually based off of science. It's all just based off of theory. The problem with theories is that when they're wild enough, there's no way for the person who's came up with the theory to prove it, but it's also impossible for you to disprove it. Elon Musk is an example of what happens when theories sit on the shelf for too long, and it makes the perfect hustle because you can't refute it, but you can't prove it either way it goes. He's saying now that eventually all life will be consumed, or all life will be exterminated by the sun. He doesn't know that. Last time I checked, the sun is not 93 million miles away and this gigantic, massive ball of hydrogen. That was the theory about the sun about 80 years ago. 80 years, and you're telling me that you don't have any new updated information? I thought you had SpaceX, your own rocket program. Thought you were studying space and beyond. You don't have anything. You mean to tell me that the science from almost 100 years ago is the same science you're using to base what you're saying today off of? It's nonsense. One thing that we've learned, and more people are waking up to accept, is that space is fake. The whole concept of flying up a certain amount of miles and then you're going to hit the Van Allen belt, and then once you get outside of it, you're in this massive freezing cold vacuum. But yet heat from the sun can travel at unlimited distance, and so can light. But in that case, shouldn't all of space be illuminated if light from stars, no matter how far away they are, can transfer heat and light at infinite distances? These are questions that no one wants to ask. Everyone just wants to go along to get along when it comes to these scams. And that's how we end up falling for hoaxes all the time. Isn't this how we fell for Russia, or everything else? The reason I bring up MAGA is because I'm MAGA, right? And when Elon Musk joined our side, I would say roughly about a year ago, it was more so in an effort of self-preservation. The Harris-Biden regime wanted him to go to jail because they're saying, and they wanted to come up with new laws that would curb free speech. And the same way they're locking white men in prison in the UK for speaking their mind about immigration or anything else, they were going to do that to Elon Musk here. Actually, there were going to be orders from the UK to have Elon Musk arrested and then extradited for charges in the UK. He had to fight for his life, and he joined Trump and the rest of us. And don't get me wrong, he is a net positive. I don't trust Tesla, even though I own a Tesla. I know that with the same type of worm virus that they used to destroy the nuclear facilities in Iran a few years ago, the Stuxnets, and that was about 10 years ago. That same type of worm could literally be unleashed into Tesla servers. All of our cars are on one server with Tesla, one worm. And what if it decides to make all of our batteries overload at the same time? You wouldn't need a nuclear war with Russia or with China or anybody, because all of these batteries inside of our Tesla vehicles is a miniature nuke right there. If one of those puppies blows, for one thing, fire departments don't have the proper equipment to extinguish a fire from a lithium battery. After they explode, they take about 3 days to go out on their own. So if all of our Tesla batteries exploded at once because of a worm or a virus, what do you think the country's going to look like? How many Teslas are on the road? And then they're self-drive now. So what if somebody directed certain ones to go be parked in parking garages or in certain buildings in certain places? Our entire infrastructure could be wiped just off of getting these Teslas to explode. Musk, there's a lot of blind spots when it comes to Musk. Believing the bullshit about going to outer space and going to other planets. There are no other planets. This is it. There is no Jupiter. There is no Mars. There are no black holes. There are no nebulas. There are no, none of this stuff is there. There's no Hubble telescope. There's no space station that's orbiting at 70,000 miles per hour and another shuttle goes up there. And you ever notice that there's never any live stream of a GoPro on the front of any of these vehicles that actually does a live footage of it docking with the space station? Never. We're supposed to believe that astronauts are stuck in space. Do you know, on average, every structure or anything ever done in space in all of human history, it's more dangerous to build a subway in a shopping plaza than it is to go to space and build structures? There have been more deaths in building a target from just accidents on work sites than there have ever been in any construction projects in space. And I'm wondering, like, who are they using to build these? Like space migrants, space illegals? Who's going up there and constructing and connecting these vehicles and all? You know, that TV show How was made, if these structures in space were real, those accomplishments of human ingenuity would be broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but they're not. Now we see Elon Musk launching rockets that go nowhere, and now they're able to go nowhere and then return, and he like uses like an arm to grab them, which is cool. But why is it cool? What benefit does that do for anyone? What good does it do? There is no, for one thing, there's no such thing as an invisible barrier that would be able to stop the vacuum of space from sucking the air and the oxygen out of our atmosphere. There would have to be a solid barrier. There wouldn't be just an invisible barrier that is made of fire and you go through it and it's like in the movies, and then all of a sudden you're on the inside where the air is, and I guess it seals up and closes, and then you're in like a terrarium. Show me something in nature where that exists. Because one thing about nature that we know is that nature repeats itself. There's no such thing. If anything, we're under a barrier that's solid. On the other side of that barrier, it's disputed. But many believe that it's water. And that's why when the sun, which is local, that travels above us throughout our plane, it comes and it goes. Sometimes it's closer, then it's further away. But when it reflects the barrier, on the other side is water, which is why our skies are blue. Elon Musk would know more about this than anyone, but instead, him and his team, they consistently put out false information and they make up lies about space. But this is the weird part, is that now he's saying that we're going to Mars in 2 years. That scares me. Before they let you know that this whole space thing has been a scam where they just siphon money every single day from the American taxpayers for the past, God knows, 100 years, they would literally burn this place to a ground. When in 2 years we don't go to Mars, that means that they're going to have to burn this whole place to the ground. So what are they planning to do in 2 years? Because it's definitely not go to Mars to save humanity. So we have to start asking ourselves what is coming. Elon Musk knows that what I'm saying is true, but no one wants to come out and talk about it because they don't have the data. I tell people, research the curious case of water. You're not on a spinning ball. For one thing, water does not stick to rocks no matter how far you spin them. Water must always find its level. Water does not bend around round objects. Water must also always be contained. If you're on a spinning rock and there's water around it, there's nothing containing it. Water does not behave like that. It does not curve around what's underneath it. The curious case of water shows you that you are on a flat earth. There is no way to get around that. Water is all the proof you need, and you can do these experiments at home. The question is, what does this guy have going on? The only way space will ever be real is inside of the Neuralink, the metaverse. You can make all kinds of planets and do anything you want, but you have to get people in there. Hopefully, we're not already in there now, and we just don't remember going in, like on the Matrix. But this guy definitely has something up his sleeve. Well, I'll let him finish.
Planet's rapidly expanding. So we do, at some point, need to be a multi-planet civilization because Earth will be incinerated.
I'm hearing this for the first time. Nope.
And no one is going to argue with him that this is bullshit. Excuse me, Mr. Musk, you're not much older than this guy, Jesse Waters. How do you know that any of what you're saying is true? The Earth is going to be incinerated. Buddy, you are only 60-something years old, 50-something years old. How the fuck would you know? Matter of fact, where have you ever seen this happen personally? You've never seen a sun engulf a planet. This is all just science fiction that comes from the imagination of men, of humans. So basically, we give our own calculations and our own base on what we think can happen. And we're just basically coming up with theories inside of that. But it could be something completely different that we're not thinking of. But it's just a very narrow band. He sounds like a sci-fi movie director from the 80s or from the 90s coming up with a storyline.
No one's ever told me the sun is going to burn. I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying I didn't know this was our destiny.
He's not disagreeing with it because he's on Fox News and he can't. And also he doesn't have any data to refute it. But Elon Musk should have told him the truth that this is all just theoretical. Actually, in 100,000 years, the sun could just turn into a ball of jelly and explode, and then the planet would be covered in applesauce. You could also say that. There's no way for you to prove that that's not going to happen.
Roasted by the sun. This is a backup plan in case something bad happens here.
And again, they're giving timetables, and that's the part that worries me. Let's see here. Let's look it up. Let's see. When did he say? Let's go here. When is Elon going to Mars? Elon Musk has stated that SpaceX plans to send uncrewed Starship rockets to Mars by the end of next year, 2026. Human landing could potentially begin as early as 2029, but by 2031 is considered more likely. That's 4, 5, maybe max 6 years from now. We're already in 2025. And this man is already talking about for one thing, you can't go to the moon. The moon is built into whatever this barrier is that we're underneath. That's why you only see one side of it facing you for your entire life. There is no backside or dark side. It's just facing you. It's not spinning. It's not moving. Actually, it generates its own light. That's why you can see it. That's why you can see it glow at night. It's not reflecting the sun. Go look outside. Go grab any rock, shine a light on it. See how many rocks reflect light. It doesn't. They did experiments in the 60s and the 50s. They said when they crashed vehicles into the moon, It rang like a bell for over an hour, meaning that it's hollow, meaning that it's artificial. Certain people know, but it seems like he's giving us a timeline by 2029, 2031. But think about it, Agenda 2030 is also at that time. So what are they saying by the year 2030? The population is going to go from 8 billion to 1. When a population of 1 billion, there is not going to be any more scientific breakthroughs or expeditions to other planets. That'll just be a memory. You'll be too consumed about what's happening in front of you to be thinking about going to faraway planets that are likely 100% not there. You know, you're looking up at the sky at night. You don't see a planet spin. You don't know what you're seeing. You see glimmers of light, like you're looking at something through, like you're underwater and you're looking at a pool, looking up through the surface of the water. That's how it looks. You don't see planets and land masses. That's just all bullshit and nonsense. They don't even give kids telescopes anymore. Too many questions because you're not seeing what you think you're seeing. And everyone just lies. And unfortunately, Elon Musk is lying. But he's a close confidant of our president, which is a problem. And I don't know what the agenda is, but I think we should start all being more skeptical and asking more questions because he's lying to us about space. So he's probably going to be lying to us about Neuralink. And then people are getting away from Teslas because people are starting to feel, I know my next car will never be an electric car, ever. I got to do a road trip from Texas to Arizona. I got to stop 12 times at different charging stations. Every 200 miles, I got to stop to charge. Do you know how inefficient it is? I want to just actually rent a regular gas car, drive there, and just have my car shipped. That's how much of an inconvenience it is dealing with a damn electric car. Anyway, if you agree, leave me a comment, like and subscribe, share the video. I don't trust Elon Musk. I do appreciate what he did getting us past this BS with Kamala and Biden, but now we got to worry about a new enemy because he's lying to us about space and no one's asking any questions. Everyone knows NASA's a liar, but you think he's telling the truth? You think he launched a Tesla Roadster that's in orbit right now? Get the flying fuck out of here. I remember the day that he did it, that he said he did it. He said that it looks so fake, it must be real. No, he said it looks so real, it must be fake or something like that. He said it looks so fake that it must be real. All of this is fake. It's all nonsense. It's bullshit. There is no going to Mars. Space is fake. Research flat Earth. Go in your kitchen. Water must always be contained. Water will always find its level. It doesn't bend and curve around rocks. It's not on a spinning ball. And centrifugal force would push things out. It wouldn't pull nothing in. Remember the rides at the fair? It pushes you out. It doesn't generate a gravitational force. Even gravity is fake. Gravity doesn't exist. They're just looking for a way because, they didn't understand the properties of buoyancy versus density. But that's also been disproven. Even that fraud, Neil deGrasse Tyson, said that gravity is fake. But he doesn't even want to give into more details. It just goes against the common accepted status quo of quote unquote science. But you can't trust science. I remember when a man named Fauci told you he was the science. And now that man, if he survives, he's going to be going to prison. Yeah, we're going to be putting science in prison. You are the science. Science, there is no such thing as settled science. Question everything. That is science. Questioning things is science. Questioning the science, questioning the data is science. To not question it means it's propaganda. Never forget that. MAGA, we have to be smarter. We have to have our wits. We can't let our guard down. We're only 2 steps away from being back where we were in 2020 through 2024, and we can't go back there. Like and subscribe, share the video. Be back in about 20 minutes with another episode. Thank you.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.